Hello students, welcome to our digital online classes. Myself Sayyad Rubina, I heartily welcome you in online classes. Today I am going to teach you remaining part of the lesson. Before that, let's have a look what we have studied in last online session. In the last online session, we started lesson number 5, substances in the surroundings, their states and properties. In that we have studied there are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid and gaseous. Apart from this, we have studied the characteristics of the state of the matter, why the solid has a shape of its own. In that way, we have studied their characteristics also and their examples also. Now, in this session, I am starting this with the effect of heat on the matter. Heat and change of physical state. You have learned that change in the physical state of a substance is an effect of the amount of heat in it. On gaining heat, the substance changes from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. For example, suppose we consider any one solid. Suppose iron, lokhand. If we heat to the iron, that time it change into liquid form, and if we goes on continuous heating, it melt. On the other hand, when the substance cools or loses heat, it changes from gaseous to liquid and liquid to solid state. You can understand this phenomena through this small diagram. See, when we heat to solid, it turns into liquid. When we heat to liquid, it turns into gas. On cooling, gas turn into liquid and liquid turn into solid. When a substance gets heat, it becomes warm and then hot. We put our hand or finger in the water to judge how hot it is, but that is not an accurate measure. Besides, if the substance is very hot, we could get scalded. Now listen, corona pandemic is going on. So sometime when you are saying to your parents that today I am not feeling well, that time your parents are touching to your head. Why they are touching to your head? They are seeing your body temperature. But by touching, we can't know the exact temperature of the body. So for that purpose, to know the exact temperature, we use a thermometer. You can see on your screen diagram of thermometer, and in the last session I told you that to draw the figure of thermometer. Now let's see about thermometer. A thermometer is used to measure temperature. Degrees Celsius is the unit of measuring temperature. There are several types of thermometers available nowadays. During this corona epidemic, we are using digital thermometer. That also you can see in the picture. Now let's see one small experiment. See in the textbook, page number 34. What you want to do? This is very simple experiment. Take a thermometer from the laboratory. The bulb at its lower end is filled with mercury. The mercury rises to a certain level in the capillary tube above the bulb. You will see a scale next to the mercury column. Reading the figure near the level of the mercury tells us the temperature of air around the bulb of the thermometer. Hold the thermometer in water so that the bulb is completely immersed in water and read the temperature of the water. Repeat the activity taking some hot water in one vessel and cold water or ice in another and note down temperature. Just see the table, then you will get the ideas of water when the water is in different state. If we take the temperature of boiling water, it is 100 degrees Celsius. Temperature of freezing water is 0 degree Celsius. Air in winter night, it is more than 15 degrees Celsius. Air in summer afternoon, less than 35 degrees Celsius. And our body temperature, it should be approximately 37 degrees Celsius. So in this way, by using thermometer, we can use temperature of various things. Only by touching we can't get the clear idea of the hotness or coolness of the thing. To know the exact temperature, we should always use a thermometer. Now let's proceed further. Our next point is boiling. Water is continuously evaporating. We know that water spilled on the floor dries up slowly on its own. When you are mopping the house, after 5 minutes, whatever the water particles are there, that evaporate. Means we can't see that water droplet. Floor dries up slowly. That is the evaporation of water. This evaporation occurs from the surface of the water. What happens when water boils? As the water gets heated, its temperature increases and it evaporates at a faster and faster rate. When water kept on a stove attains a particular temperature or level of heat, then evaporation takes place in all parts of the body of water. You can see in the figure. See figure 5.5. Observe that. Then we see water bubbles rising at faster and faster rate to the surface and steam mixing in the air. This is called boiling of water or ebullition. At sea level, pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This is the boiling point of water. In short, we are writing BP. BP means boiling point. And the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. When water vapor cools, it is converted into water again. This process is called condensation. Condensation means what? Conversion of water vapor into water again. This is condensation. Condensation of steam also takes place at 100 degrees Celsius. It means that the boiling point and the condensation point of water are one and the same. Children, try to understand boiling point and condensation. Boiling point means what? The temperature at which water boil. And the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. And condensation means what? The process in which water vapor turn into water again. That is condensation. And the condensation point of water and boiling point of water are one and the same. Now our next point is freezing. The water kept in a fridge or on ice becomes cooler and cooler. That is, its temperature falls. At a certain temperature, water does not get any cooler but starts freezing and forms ice. The temperature at which this happens, this is called the freezing point of water. Means the temperature at which water start to freeze, that is the freezing point of water. The temperature of a substance can fall below 0 degrees Celsius. For example, the temperature of air in the freezer of a refrigerator is around minus 18 degrees Celsius. The temperature of the freezer is minus 18 degrees Celsius. When ice gets heat, it starts melting or changing into the liquid state again. Ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. It means that the freezing point and melting point of water are one and the same. Melting point means what? The temperature at which the particular thing start to melt. And freezing point means the temperature at which a particular substance start to freeze. So the melting point and the freezing point of water are one and the same. Each substance has a specific boiling point which is also its condensation point. Each substance has a specific melting point which is the same as its freezing point. The temperature at which a substance boils while heating is the same as the temperature at which it condenses when it is cooled. So here we have studied boiling and freezing. Students, in the textbook page number 35, some substances, their freezing point and boiling points are given. Let's have a look. First substance is candle. The freezing point of candle is 60 degrees Celsius and boiling point is 350 degrees Celsius. Next one is iron. The freezing point is 1535 degrees Celsius while the boiling point of iron is 2862 degrees Celsius. Students, there are various uses of changes in physical state. Which are they? First one, see. Candles are made by melting paraffin wax. Second one is solid carbon dioxide, means dry ice is used to make ice cream and to keep it frozen. Liquid nitrogen is used in animal husbandry. Fourth one is sand or silica is melted to make glass. Children, you know very well that glass is made with the mixture of sand, है ना? When we give extreme heat to the sand, means silica, it convert into glass. This lesson you have studied in 4th standard English lesson. Then the metals like gold and silver are melted to make ornaments. Nowadays we are wearing so many designs ornament, and that is possible because metals, if we give heat to the metal, they melt and we can make any desired shape. Iron is melted to make tool. So in this way we studied that the changes occur in the substance because of the heat. Now at last I want to tell you something about sublimation. Sublimation means what? The change of a solid substance directly into a gas or vapor without first changing into a liquid is called sublimation. How? For example, see that when we give heat to the ice is in the solid form, then it turn into liquid, and if we give heat again to liquid, it convert into the gaseous form. Means first solid change into liquid and then liquid change into gases. But in very rare examples, some substances, when they are getting heat, they are, instead of going into the liquid state, they are directly convert into the gaseous form. Solid directly convert into the gaseous form instead of going in the liquid form. That is, this process is known as sublimation. For example, your mother is keeping naphthalene balls in your clothes, old clothes, to prevent that clothes from small insect. But after some month, when you are opening that box, when you are opening your cupboard, you can't see naphthalene balls. Then what happened? These naphthalene balls, instead of going into liquid state, they are converting into directly gaseous state. This process is known as sublimation. To understand the phenomena of sublimation, one small experiment is given in the textbook, page number 36. So let's see figure 5.6, sublimation. In that, what is there? See that. Iodine crystals do not melt on heating but change directly to the gaseous state. When the fumes of iodine hit the walls of the funnel, they cool to form solid crystals of iodine and stick to the funnel wall. Thus, on heating, iodine does not melt and change to a liquid but directly changes to the gaseous state. Then what they want to tell us? See, how we want to perform experiment. See figure. Take some sand in a crucible. Put a few iodine crystals on it. Place the crucible on a tripod to heat it. Block the stem of the funnel with a cotton plug and place it inverted over the crucible as shown in figure. Light the burner and heat the mixture in the crucible and observe the changes. You will observe that the crystals of iodine do not melt on heating but directly it change into the gaseous state. So this process is known as sublimation. So here I am going to end this session. So whatever I have given you, I have explained, whatever I have explained, please do watch this video carefully. And whatever the doubts you have, note down in your notebook and ask me in our coming webinar session. Thank you.